welcome everyone. We are so glad that you're with us today. This is Judge Angel's All Stars, and guess what? We've got a great star today. You know, we believe in educational entertainment, and we are so honored to have a great star with us today, Mr. Larry White. Larry, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me here today with you.
We are so honored. Now, you are a writer, a guitar player, a producer, and don't you sing?
I do a little bit of that every now and then.
Because I'm trying to say singer also. You're very blessed and very talented. We're really honored to have you here today. When did you start playing the guitar?
I started around the age of 9. And
really?
Just trying to experiment. I was started off as a drummer first, and then I graduated to another instrument.
Okay.
And then started picking up other instruments. And
now, was that in school?
No, it wasn't in school. It was at home. You know.
Okay.
I asked for a guitar. My father got me a guitar.
God
and I asked for a drum set. I got a drum set. So I started trying to, sit on the side of the bed and just trying to come up with some concepts. And
wonderful.
First thing I was trying to figure out how to tune it. That was a big issue, but eventually I got it together and figured out my first A chord, G chord,
and then you started a band early on?
My first band was in the 5th grade. It was Larry and the High Tones.
Okay.
So I would play for my teacher, and she knew she had an interest in some talent that was going on around the school. So she said, "You know what? I have somebody coming to see you," and she brought what was the
Harvey?
Not Harvey Fuqua. He was running for mayor.
Oh.
And he came to the school and said, "Hey, I like Mayor Alioto." That's who it was.
Oh, okay.
Mayor Alioto came and he saw me, and she started bringing some more congressmen and to the school. I'm like, she's kind of important, Miss Carter. She was, was going all the way back there.
You know, those teachers imprinted us, didn't they?
I wound up playing in San Francisco for some of the nice events that they had, and it was really cool. At an early age, they had me on Channel 5 News, and there was a lot of good things.
So you had scouts in your life at a very early age. That was wonderful. Then what happened after high school and you started college?
Well, I didn't go to college. I wanted to go to Berkeley in Boston, but by that time, I was supposed to get a scholarship. My music teacher was going to give me a scholarship, and everything was working fine. He talked to my mother, and they put me in. Said, "You play guitar too advanced," so they put me in another room.
Too advanced?
So they put me in a room. They just wanted to teach me how to read because he couldn't teach me all the stuff that I was already playing. I was playing major 7ths and augmented 13ths. And
now you had just taught yourself these skills on the guitar?
I kept experimenting. I just wanted to be the best in the sound.
Yes.
So they tried to get me into put me in special class over here. And by the time Mr. Hartman got ready for graduation, he passed away. So all my stuff what he was working on for me, it was just out of the way. So at that time, I started doing my group Grand Theft. We started traveling and.
Grand Theft? What's the group?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was with Mr.
I won't ask how you got that name.
We had a good concept, but Harvey Fuqua discovered us, and my manager Raymond Bell, he had us working doing all the proms in all the top hotels in San Francisco, which was awesome. We did the St. Francis Drake, the Fairmont, the Claremont,
the big hotels.
All of them. So would play for all the proms in San Francisco, all the high schools.
Now, who is Mr. Fuqua? That name is Fuqua. That name is familiar.
Harvey Fuqua was with the Moonglows. He was a great songwriter. He wrote the song "Only You."
Oh.
He did a lot of stuff for Marvin Gaye. He was married to Berry Gordy's sister. But he was the one that brought Marvin Gaye back to do his stuff, sexual healing and all that other stuff like that.
The classics I call sexual healing. Yeah. Every time you hear it at a party, everybody just goes into a zone.
You have to give it up, all that stuff.
Yes.
Marvin was there for all that. He was the brain.
So eventually you started traveling and helping the Whispers. How did that come about?
Whispers helped me.
All right.
And then I helped the Whispers, but the Whispers, they were looking for a guitar player, and the word got out over the entire Bay Area. I was one of the ones that was one of the candidates. And
what was it, like 2 or 3 of you?
No, it was about 30. It was some of the best, because I was kind of intimidated a little bit. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna learn these songs. I'm gonna learn all the Whisper songs. But my mother's sister was a great fan of the Whispers when I was a little kid.
Yes.
She would play like Great Day and all these other songs by the Whispers, and I was like, wait a minute. So I asked her, are there any more records? So I wind up getting my first job. I was working for Olympia Beer Company, and I got the job with the benefits and everything. And then they told me, you know, you're gonna start working strong this week. And when I'm my driver, the guy I was under as my boss, so that's whatever he was supposed to be. Anyway, I'll tell you that story. But we started riding, and I had to take off. I got the call and said they needed to start auditions, but I just got the job. So you can only take off so many days if there was an emergency. So I couldn't come up with an excuse or whatever. So I got there.
So you went to the interview for the Whispers.
Yeah, but I had to
even though you had this new job and it wasn't easy for you to take off right away.
I asked the guy, can I take off a little early so I can get across the bridge to go to Hayward? He said, I don't know, depending on how fast we can get these the beer delivered. So I think it was a plus for getting me there, being able to get there faster, but he started making me do a lot more work. So I get the beer and I, put it on the lift. He said, make sure the doors, make sure always the doors closed, right? Don't leave the bays open. I said, okay, no problem. One day I had the bay open. He kind of scolded me a little bit. I said, all right, fine. So I got the beer, started delivering, going to the different liquor stores. And one of the places the stairs were kind of steep, so I couldn't kind of lift the beer up. I said, well, I got to put some manpower on this. So I lifted the beer up, dropped a few cases. He got upset with me. So I said, okay, I got the beer up. Goes back outside, and then all of a sudden, we get to a community where I grew up. That day, he didn't leave the bay closed. It was open. It was him doing it this time. So he'd been in that corner. When he'd been in the corner, he looked through the mirror, and I looked through the mirror, at the side mirror, and I seen beer flying out on the ground.
No.
So he goes, oh my God, what do we do? I said, oh boy, now. So when we got to that corner, people were going, hey Larry, what's going on, man? So he said, what should I do? Pick the beer up or leave the beer there? I said, no. We got to pick some of it up, but we can't stay out here too long because I don't know what's happening here and I don't want you to get caught up in anything. He said, man, whatever we can do, if we get this beer, pick this beer up, I'll make sure you get off so you can go do your audition and stuff, right? So we go by a park. We got all that together, and then some of the beers was squirting all over the place. It was hot too, so they would just drink beer without even flopping the can. So he said, man, let's hurry up and get out of here. He said, let's hurry up and get out of here. I said, all right, we're going to get out of here. So we get around the corner. He said, man, what we can do at this point, you can get off early, man. So I go over, I got my guitar in the car, I drive across the bridge. And the Whispers, I can hear the band and the guitar players playing. Mm-hmm. So they lift up the garage door, and some of the guys were coming out with their gear and stuff. And then here comes Nick. He said, you about ready? I said, yeah. So I still got my guitar, and I'm just shaking like a leaf. I got my guitar, I got my cassette player, still going over the Whisper songs. I studied, like hundreds of songs. Songs that they recorded way before they even became an artist.
Beginning of their career, yes.
So they asked me, so you ready? I said, yeah, I'm ready. He said, about another 10 minutes. And I'm listening at the same time. I'm hearing these guitar players. I said, this is pretty dangerous. I don't know if I'm going to get it. I start shaking. Then I said, I got to keep my game face on. I don't want to be like an amateur. I don't know what I'm doing. Because I can play anything. So we got to the point. The door opened. Again, he said, it's your turn. So I lugged my stuff in. He said, I introduced myself to everybody, and they were like, nice to meet you. And bam, everything was good. We started working. So load my stuff up, just turn my guitar on. He said, so we're going to go through a couple of songs. We're going to go through Olivia and something else we went to. Only Went to With My Feet, and Chocolate Girl, and a couple of other songs. So I struck them up. And then we took a break for a minute. I guess they were digging it because I'm looking at them at the same time. I'm like, I hope they're feeling what I'm doing.
You're trying to read them,
so
and they're reading you.
They already figured me out already.
Yes.
So we got to the section, and they told me, this is what you need to do. If you can go on and learn a couple of more of these songs. I said, do you think you can learn a couple of more songs in the next couple of days? I said, yeah, I can.
Did they give you the songs that they wanted you to learn?
They kept giving me songs.
Were they different songs than the ones you had been able to find out about and practice with?
Well, the ones I found out about that I dug from my aunt, that wasn't in the list.
Okay, but so they had different songs.
They had a different
okay.
set of songs,
Good.
so I'm learning the ones that they're requesting.
Of course.
But I said, you know what, the best thing for me to do is keep learning as much as I can learn, because you never know when somebody's going to call a song off.
Right.
So I said, if I learned everything as much as my brain allowed me, in my hands, and me being prayed up about it, and hopefully
know that's right.
I'll probably be able to get it. So he said, okay, get called up like 4 more songs. I went through those, they were good. Went through a couple of more. Then they asked me, they said, would you be ready to start touring in the next couple of weeks? My eyes got big. I said, yeah. He said, you think you'll have the rest of the songs down? I said, yeah. Which I learned pretty much all the songs.
I imagine.
I learned everything before we even played them.
So you started a couple of weeks after that interview?
2 weeks later,
all right.
We went on tour. We went out with Lenny Williams, Evelyn Champagne King, and McFadden and Whitehead. We wind up opening them at the front row.
Now, when you say tour, how long do you guys stay out at one time?
This was like I think this was 6 to 8 week run.
Wow, that's a long time.
Then we came back, but that wasn't really nothing after I really got involved with some other artists. I started working on this tour, started lasting longer than I.
Okay, so but this time when you were with the Whispers, did you guys have a hit song or something during this time?
We came home. We had they did the album. I think it was what was on that album?
What was the song from the album?
Bingo and all that other stuff like that. They had some other stuff like
good.
Only with my feet, but Olivia was the main song. And then we went back to the studio, did our first big recording with Dee Griffey at Soul Out Records, and we wound up getting a big hit record, Lady.
All right.
And Say Yes.
Lady and Say Yes.
Are You Going My Way?
Are You Going My Way? Now, did you guys end up getting a gold record?
We got a platinum record when we hit And the Beat Goes On.
Now say it again.
And the Beat Goes On.
And you got a platinum.
We got
not
platinum.
just gold, but you went all the way to platinum.
Yes, we did.
Amen. That's beautiful.
It was a beautiful journey going through the process trying to get there, because it was a lot of homework. We rehearsed a lot, and the twins were in New York, traveling around doing interviews and stuff, and then they had to come back to LA and then come back to Oakland and doing stuff, and then they wind up the band would rehearse, then they would come to Oakland where we were. But they were doing a lot of interviews all over the country because the record was getting pretty popular and strong.
Right.
So they had to travel all over the place without the band.
So they could talk about the record and the production, and people could play it, and different groups could hear. You know what? You guys make it seem so easy, and like all of us could just wake up and do a tour. But thank you for explaining just how tedious it is.
Yes.
And it requires a lot of dedication and discipline, it sounds like.
That it is.
That you have to do. So everybody, when we hear people telling us, you need to do your work first. Hello.
It's important.
Get ready. We're going to take a short break right now and come back with Larry White, the writer, the singer, the guitar player, the band leader, the creator, the wonderful Larry White. We'll see you in a minute.